気色潔白で咲くノイズ芝居と乗りこなす暴れ者バディ絶対引かない気迫でドッグファイト太いレッドゾーンの悲鳴にしびれたい儚い閃光 like a new slide 一瞬の輝きでも構わない垣間見た机上の風景いつか語りたいそう今は本能のままドッグファイト
しびれたい夢ならここにあるだけの破る傘はファイター昨日を流すただけな今から分けて酒じゃない願いが痛むならすぐにおいだよビッグタイムガンバー愚かさを美しいビッグスター Crazy girl Baby this is your ecstasy
So everywhere 横殴りパンチほどのヘビーウェイトギリで走行耳の甲をザザザ楽勝でフォーだけじゃまだまだ
Okay, what's up everybody? Justin here to review you another PSP favorite of mine, Initial D Street Stage. So a while back, I also reviewed Special Stage for the PS2, and I've been a fan of the original arcade stage going back to its beginning. So I figured this would be a good opportunity for us to strap in and shift into high gear for this racing hit. If you've played the PS2 game, or the first three versions of the arcade game, you're pretty much getting a PSP port of that. And it's a pretty good port for what it is if you're a fan of arcade racers or the Initial D franchise. You start a new file, then you choose the car. Pretty much most of the cars featured up to around 4th stage are playable. After that, you can either enjoy Legend of the Streets, where you challenge other racers from the series, or Time Attack mode, you know, like in the arcade or PS2 games, where you choose a track and then you play by yourself and then try to get the best time. But unlike the PS2 games, a story mode is not playable here. The courses available in this game are the simplified versions of Myogi and Usui, but you do get the actual versions of Akagi, Akina, Irohazuka, Hapogahara, Shomaru, and Tsuchisaka. Like in the original PS2 game, you can either play in first-person or third-person views, and the course layouts are more or less the same as those featured in the PS2 games. I say in order to get used to playing this game, I recommend playing Time Attack first because it allows you to not only get familiar with your car, but with the courses as well. As portrayed in the original source material, knowing the courses is critical to winning these races. Like let's say in Akina, you can gutter grip to gain the advantage, or jump the corners at Irohazuka, so fans of Initial D can appreciate that. Also, the blind attack is available, but I had to look that up, that you had to hold down the start button in order to pull it off. The control layout for this game should be easy for those that have played the PS2 game. Compared to the PS2 game, Street Stage can be looser or tighter at times, and is more controller friendly either way. When it comes to, let's say, a tight corner towards the end of the second section of Akina, I tend to oversteer or understeer a lot with a PS2 controller, but in this game, I don't have that issue that much. However, the controls do take some time to master due to how its looseness and tightness can differ from the PS2 version. While asking for steering wheel controllers too much and unrealistic for a PSP game, that's how I ultimately still prefer to play racing games. In the original versions, you win points, and those points give you upgrades. However, that's not the case with Street Stage. At the completion of a race or time attack, you choose 3 random cards. One card can be a character, while another card can be used to tune your car. So you have to keep winning to pick the appropriate cards to tune your car so you can defeat future and tougher opponents when you're at a certain limit. The graphics are pretty good for the PSP handheld, and justifiably almost comparable to the superior versions. The layout and the textures work, and the cars do look nice. However, when I play this on an HDMI connection to an HDMI TV, like the PS2, it doesn't really look that good, and it's a lot worse when you play at night. You can't even see a single thing when you're playing at night. But thankfully, I have D-terminal cables, and when you play a D-terminal on a TV, the quality is so much better, and that's how the HDMI connection should look to begin with. The Eurobeat soundtrack is still intact, so I can't complain about that. The Legend of the Streets mode will still retain cutscenes that feature artwork by Shigeno-sensei, but will not be voice acted like in the PS2 games. However, when you're racing against an opponent, there will be voice acting in the middle of the race. The only negative feature here is that when you save replays, they can't be accessed again to watch. For time attacks, you use them for ghosts, but I wanted to record them for this video, so I only recorded what I could after I played the level and then hit the replay button. It's nice to watch replays because it feels like you're watching the anime. So ultimately, I recommend this for racing, JDM, and Initial D enthusiasts big time.